I've been sitting here for the last 6 minutes or so trying to figure out what I'm going to say or how I'm going to say it. There's a hesitancy to my demeanor. I don't know what exactly to communicate. And I'm going to sound vague here, but bear with me a second. I had a huge, call it a revelation, over this last weekend, the time that I'm recording this. And there's been a shift in my purpose, we'll call it. This is something I think happens quite frequently, but not noticeably. We're really good at ignoring the things that God says. We read about in the Bible how God speaks through whispers. He doesn't speak loudly. And man, I tune out of the whispers. I tune out of the silent communicative methods that God has, at least for me. And I took some time to actually listen this last weekend. And I think there's some things I have to act on. And I'm hoping that this can help you act on the things that you may not be listening to either. This world is so loud and frequently obnoxious. There's so much wrong. There is so much hurt and harm and hatred that goes on. It can be really hard to identify the good in the same world that the hate lives in. But over this weekend, I learned to just be still. To be still in what I was feeling. To be still in what I knew. To be still and know that God is God. There is so much going on in my own life that I choose to do other things. Not necessarily bad things, but I choose to do other things more than taking the time to listen to what God actually has to say. You know, the one who kind of made me and who made you, that God. Goals, pursuits, successes, growth, progress, all good things that we work for, whether if that's in our jobs, if that's in our family, if that's in our relationships, if it's in our time. But all those things I've spent in higher priority than God, and it was starting to take a toll on me. I had episode 4 for the Road to Worship podcast written for about 3.5 months now. And on my whiteboard, you can't see it, but it's just past you. On my whiteboard, I had it written every week in my priority list to film and to edit and to post. Never did it. I had every intention to do it every week. I had the day scheduled. I had my time, set around it. And I sat down and I couldn't. And I couldn't figure out why. It's such an exciting thing for me, at least. I love talking about the Bible. I love talking about worship. And I love that you're here wanting to learn about it. So the question is, why has it been such a roadblock for me? I think the purpose I had set behind it was starting to fail me. And that sounds a lot more dramatic than I think it is. There was a deeper purpose, I think, to this platform than what I had initially thought. And that's actually an exciting thing. That means that there's something greater, something deeper that can come out of talking about God, worship specifically on this platform. And I couldn't quite figure out where it was going to go after this series that I've been writing, that I've been sharing with you. I think I have a better answer now. And I'm excited to start sharing what's coming. in our efforts to discover what God has for our lives, I will ask you, should you want to follow along with us, I ask you to do this. I ask you to surrender your expectations of your life, of how you want things to go. Keep them, but surrender them. Don't forget them. But allow God to use your vision and your plan. And then act on what he has for you. I ask that of you if you're going to follow along with us, because that's exactly what I'm going to try and do as well. I've spent so much of my time these last 5 years wanting my own way, wanting to do things the way I wanted to do them, wanting my life to progress in a way I wanted it to progress. Full knowing I am not in control of 99% of what happens. However, we are capable and powerful enough to control how we respond to life. What the world throws at us, what God throws at us. If he swings and he has an arm to throw things at us. Sometimes it feels that way. So, what this decision is in regards to this platform. Although we are rooted in worship and the content that we share, we are moving towards bringing spiritual connection and biblical knowledge together. There are so many churches out there who have one side of it nailed down, who take all the time to prioritize the spiritual connection to God, feeling that intimate connection, that marriage feeling of a connection. You know, the church is described as the bride of Jesus. There is a marriage analogy to this relationship, and I believe that to be true. And we have churches who spend a good amount of time learning and connecting. And we also have churches who are really good at studying the Bible, learning its knowledge, mastering it to the best of their ability. But there can be times in our lives where we're missing one or the other. Maybe not missing, but we're weaker in one or the other. The message I heard last weekend, I didn't really hear it in a voice, but I heard it. And it was, Chase, your relationship with God is more than knowledge. It's more than facts. It's more than daily habits. Connect with God. Learn how to. And invite people to do it with you. There you have it. That's what I'm hoping to do in this next bit of time with you. So if you are feeling tied down, hurt, you feel condemned, if you feel like there's only so far you can go before feeling lost and trying to find this relationship with God, relationship with Spirit, I invite you to figure it out with me together. I'm not an expert at this. This is a decision I made 4 days ago. Being a Christian my whole life and still feel like there's something missing. That's okay. The beauty of God is that he meets us where we're at. No matter if you believe in him or not, he still loves you more than a human mind can conjure up. He is always there with you. His presence is there. If you scoff at that, that's okay too. I scoff at that statement. I've just learned that I don't feel it, which is why I scoff at the statement of God is here with us. He's here with me in this room. He could be right there, just applauding or trying to tell me to do something else. But I don't feel him there. And I want to change that. So, if you want to walk on this journey with me, I would love it. The road to worshiping God, the road to building the deepest relationship that one human can have with him, is a lifelong journey. And I say, let's just start walking. If this is something you want, feel free to subscribe to this channel. The community here is here to walk with you. If you don't feel like you have one, we can find you one here. What I promise you, from one person trying to follow God to another, is that when we fall, when we trip, when things don't go the way we want them to go, I'm going to get back up and keep walking. And I'm going to help as many people as I can get up and keep walking. So we can all help each other do that very thing. This life requires community. It requires mutual affection, in however form that it comes. So, if this is something you're looking for, let's walk this road together. I love you. We'll talk to you soon.